What up, what up, what up, what up? What's going on, good people? Can everybody hear me okay? You don't have to come off mute. You can put a thumbs up in the chat, put a thumbs up in the corner. Can everybody hear me? All right. All right, Dante, I appreciate you, good man. Outstanding, outstanding. Well, welcome. I'm excited to have each and every one of you joining us for this wonderful master class. We're about to drop some incredible jewels and some nuggets on you. And I'm going to share some great information and some opportunities, to join me for more to go into a deep dive. So everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started. I don't like to belabor any time. Welcome you to our master class. My name is Coach Dre Blas, Chef Andre Blas again. And today we will discover how to achieve anything and live a purpose-driven life. Now, by a show of hands, because I know everybody's not showing their videos, so you can put the hands in the chat. How many of you here are leaders in what you're doing, but you're looking to achieve more out of life? I know I am. Anybody else? All right. Excellent, excellent, perfect. So, and in addition to that, how many of you here want to inspire others by knowing your purpose and becoming a person of influence by a show of hands? Is everybody live out there? Well, Dante is the only what time it is. See, that's what I'm talking about. I love it. Perfect, perfect. There we go. There we go. I see L. I hope I said that right. Ellie. Perfect, because this masterclass is perfect for you. The principles that I'm going to share with you today are something you can immediately implement to make a big difference in your career, your business, and in your own personal life. But before anything else, I would like to thank each and every one of you for investing your time in your personal growth and being here with me today. You could have been anywhere and spent the hour with anybody, but you chose to be here today. And I promise that I will do everything in my power to make this masterclass worth your time. And if I'm talking too fast, just put it in the chat and I'll make sure I speed it up. No, I'm just kidding. So just to set your expectations. There's nothing to buy in this masterclass. And the principles I will share with you today are just something that I've implemented with not only my clients in the last few years, but also something that I've implemented for myself. So I definitely practice what I preach. And since we'll be spending, close to 45 minutes together, I'd just like to introduce myself real quick. Is that okay? Everybody cool with that? Excellent. Excellent. Hold on, let me get my screen sharing on. Excellent. So welcome to the recipe. Achieve anything and live with purpose. I'm going to be your host today, your coach Andre Blassingame, and I'm going to share a little bit of background about who I am and what it is that I do. Now, I'm going to be your chef instructor today, okay? So if you can't come off mute, if you can't, show your face, some of this is interactive. It's okay to put it in the chat. So I have over 25 years of experience in the hospitality industry. That's where I started. That's where my background is. And if you know anything about hospitality and food, it's a people business. I'm a chef, coach, speaker, owner, entrepreneur. I have several different businesses in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, which is where I'm from. I'm originally from Louisville, Kentucky. So, I am from that wonderful Derby City, but I reside here now in Texas. So hold on one second. Got to go back one. So I'm chef owner of Heavenly Catering International. We are a coaching, catering, and consulting firm here in the DFW market. I'm a certified coach with extreme execution. If you know anything with extreme execution, that is Dr. Eric Thomas's platform. And I've been fortunate enough to not only be trained and mentored by him, but some incredible greats like Moose and Nikki on really how to be effective to people. I started out my career actually making sandwiches for Ye Olde Sandwich Shop back in the Lowell St. Matthews Mall, back in my hometown, Louisville, Kentucky. I went on to go to the University of Houston, went on to Le Cordon Bleu, and became a I had an internship as a sous chef at Walt Disney World at the Grand Floridian Resort, which was an incredible, incredible time. In addition to that, executive chef at Dr. Pepper, which is now Carrot. Also an executive chef at American Airlines. So I spent a lot of time in corporate America, building my own business. And, I've run the gamut. I think the only thing that I haven't worked on in the culinary industry is cruise ships. So I also compete. I compete on a national and an international scale. I'm a competition chef. I'm a two-time world food champ, a two-time Texas super chef, which are high accolades in my career in my field, because it shows that I have the knowledge to really do and say and back up what it is that I do. I have several nonprofits that I sit on the board are. I'm the chief operating officer for Soar Hospitality and Travel, YLC, out of Roselle, New Jersey. Excited about that. We're currently going through a pilot program for 8th and ninth graders, showing them business and entrepreneurship. We're in week 3, class number 5. So I'm excited about that. I got to teach 2 classes on that. In addition to that, president of Old School, New School, what we do is we help kids that are phasing out of foster care find not only job placement and education, but also a place to live, because often after they get out of foster care, they're homeless. They have nowhere to go. If no one's adopted them, then they don't have it. And it sparked from a great friend of mine who's been doing foster care for over 20 years and has had, 20 20 plus children that have come to his home, have been incredible behind it. So that's what sparked the idea. And then I'm a board chair member of BCA Global. It's the Black Culinary Alliance. And what we do is we are advocates for race, food, and social justice, trying to eliminate the food deserts and trying to eliminate, food poverty among not only our people, but our people that, may not have the means to afford it. So excellent, excellent. So we're gonna move on to the next one. Recipes, what to expect from today's class. Hope you guys are ready. I know people like to multitask, and I'm not discouraging you from that, but I would suggest that you break out your pen and pad, your tablet, take some notes, because you're about to get a wealth of information just because you showed up to the master class today. All right, and you see all the incredible food. These are just some of the dishes that I've created for the different competitions that I've been in. So today's chef's recipe takes years to master success in all things. So the first key principle to this is discipline. The second one is consistency. The third is knowledge applied, okay? And we're gonna go deeper into that later. And the last one is skill. So write those 4 down so you can master anything in life with those 4 principles, whether it be for school, your career, your relationships, closing deals. These 4 things, if you can apply and master these 4, it will set you up for success in all that you do in life, and it will help you define your purpose. I know it did for me. So the first one that's included with the recipe, excuse me, is motivation, passion, vision, confidence, and decision making. Now that one, is an extension. And if you want to go into a deeper dive once we're finished with this, I'll put a link inside the chat where you can go set up a 30-minute one-on-one, and we'll do a deeper dive into these principles. So this is something that we're going to continue to build on going forward. Excellent, excellent. I'm pretty sure everybody knows Morgan Freeman over there. So time to get to cooking, okay? The first principle, discipline. Discipline is the practice of training people to follow a code of behavior and learn not only to fall away from it, learn not to fall away from it. A routine that rarely changes, right? And when you think about disciplines are things that don't require much muscle memory. It just requires for you to stay consistent, which we'll talk about second, in all that you do. Oftentimes, we lose our discipline when we're looking for our goals and things that we want to achieve. It's easy for us to get up every day and brush your teeth because it'll keep the dentist off your back, right? It's easy for us to get up every day and eat the right foods for your body or exercise and work out to stay and maintain. But many people lack the discipline to take that learned behavior and apply it on a regular basis, okay? So That discipline is key in growing yourself. Having that self-control is mastery, right? So an example of that would be, because oftentimes discipline is considered to be a repercussion for not following a rule, right? Because that's actually the technical definition of it, is that there's a certain set of codes and rules that you follow, and then when you're not following them, you get disciplined for it, right? Much like they would do with children. The discipline that is here now is self-control, self-awareness, and mastery of you. You know what you can and cannot do. You know your limitations, right? And in those limitations, you must be able to take a step back and realize that you have areas that you need to grow in and be more consistent and disciplined. Okay. So that's definitely important. So write down that first principle, discipline. It's key and important. So consistency, much better than a moment of greatness. Okay. Consistency is conforming in the application of something, typically that which is necessary for the sake of logic, accuracy, or fairness. Okay. So basically, it is the ability to do something over and over again constantly and staying focused on doing that. Once again, I'm gonna go back to the brushing the teeth analogy. If you consistently are brushing your teeth every day, flossing every day, go to the dentist every 6 to 12 months, most times you can catch any issues that may happen. Most of the time you can catch if you're going to have cavities, if you're going to need a root canal, and you can catch it and save yourself, time, energy, and money. Consistency is like a system. Everybody knows the acronym for system. If not, write this down. Save yourself some time, energy, and money. A system. Breeding that consistency. And if you do that, it lowers the expenses and costs that you would have to do on dental work. So if we do something as simple as your dental work, just imagine what it would do for your business, for your career, for your relationships with your friends, your family, your parents, your spouses, right? You breed that consistency of doing something over and over again, you're going to see a result. I know they talk about insanity is something doing something over and over again, but the key word is that expecting a different result. Okay. Consistency is expecting the result that you get from being consistent. Like I said, I'm a chef and I've been successful in my area of business because I've been consistent with the food, consistent with what I put out, consistent with, pricing and customer service, and really taking the expectations of the clients to another level. Now, inconsistency, there's always downfalls to it. You can be consistent in the wrong thing. Take some time, write this question down. What are 3 areas that I'm consistent in that do not bring me the success I want? See, that's an opportunity to reevaluate how you operate. I'll say that again. Reevaluate how you operate. Because you can be consistent in a lot of other areas that may not be great for your growth. And a lot of times, motivational speakers, they're not going to talk about, negativity. They want to give you the pump up and the let's get excited and then take these tools to implement it for the better. But sometimes you have to take a step back and look at what you've been doing wrong, because all successes are learned from failure. We learn more from failure than we do success, right? But if you consistently fail, you're going to consistently feel unsuccessful. And most of the time, that comes from the fact that you don't learn from that consistent mistake, making the same mistake over and over again, dating the same type of guy over and over again, same type of girl over and over again, and you're wondering why that you're not getting the results that you want. All right. So Ellie said this sound is bad. Let me see if I can turn this up a little bit. Hopefully, maybe this will be a little bit better for you. So consistency, second principle to achieving anything you want in life and being able to find your purpose. Number 3, knowledge applied. It's important that you know it's knowledge applied, okay? Oftentimes people get that understanding when they say knowledge is power, that they have the power. But if you don't use it, it's just additional information. Okay. It's just that information that you have that you're not using. Okay. And if you're not using it, then I wouldn't consider it to be useless, but it's idle because you could fill your time with knowledge that you're going to apply. So the basic definition of that is facts, information, and skills acquired by a person through experience or education, awareness or familiarity gained by experience of a fact or situation. Okay, so that means you can be education or experience combined. Now, the important key is when you apply it, that's when you truly see the success and the change that you want to have. Okay, I can do calculus, I can do trigonometry, right? I don't use it. So I just have the knowledge. So would you consider that to be powerful or me to be more powerful because I have that knowledge? No, you wouldn't recognize its power until I applied it. Until I applied it to building a rocket ship, or until I applied it to come up with some kind of scientific new recipe, that's going to change the world. Until I applied that knowledge, it's just what it is. The power is in your application, and you learn it through your education and experience. You see the little quote there from Alan Einstein, the only source of knowledge is experience, right? I'm an advocate for school, especially when you can go for free, right? I teach anybody that I counsel, anybody that I coach, there's a lot of money out there for you to go to school for free. You don't have to take out student loans. You don't have to, take out any kind of loan to go to school. There's enough out there for you to go school free. And some people, school is just not for them. And if you notice in the marketplace, you get paid more for the experience, right? So at the same time, you could take using a 4-year degree, you could build your business in 4 years, be profitable, and not actually have to work with somebody. See, I'm in that mindset now of, for my people, that health and wealth is the future of my people. And instead of fighting for equality, we should be fighting for equity, working together to build our own table instead of fighting for years to get at someone else's table. I'm part of a group that is called the Mindful Eating for the Beloved Community. And the eating is more than just the food we consume, it's the knowledge that we apply, right? And if you be mindful of what you're consuming, you can change not only your area, but you can change many areas across the world in your particular business. Having that purpose, having that gift, knowing what you're striving for, realizing that, the money is important, but it's not a requirement, right? Because once you start doing things to bless others, blessings come to you. That's why they talk about, in the scriptures about, it's better to give than receive, right? That's because the principle of giving already offers a reward of reciprocation, right? And the more you give, the more you receive. Praise down, shaking together, runneth over. I'm not gonna get too religious, for the people on the phone, but you get the point. Whatever your craft is, whatever your career is, however you are in your relationship, begin to be more of a giver. And it doesn't have to necessarily be always financial. It could be of your time. It could be of your resources. It could be of your knowledge, your intelligence. It could be of, helping and volunteering, because it may not come back to you that same day, within a week, within a month, within a year. But see, it's going to come back to you, not how you expected, but it's going to come back even better. Right? And you have to have the knowledge to understand and be able to apply that on a regular basis. All of you that are on this Zoom call now are leaders in your respective industry, in your respective career, in your respective business, in your nonprofits, in your home, right? You're all leaders, and you have the knowledge that people want to follow. You have a voice, as one of my fellow coaches would say, and it needs to be heard. There's people that want to hear what you have to say. They want your knowledge. It's not a coincidence you see so many people on TEDx, or you see so many podcasts, or you see so many YouTube channels, people creating content, because Your voice needs to be heard. And even if it's only for the little cluster of people that you hang around on a regular basis, you don't know how you are going to be the one to change their life with your knowledge. That's an application of it. It's important that you have that application of it. It's critical because the power in the knowledge is being able to share it with others, to be able to grow it dynamically. We weren't put here or created to be alone or to be by ourselves. If that was the case, two of us wouldn't have been made in the beginning, right? There wouldn't be a multitude of us on this earth currently now to build up what it is that we do. And see, we're all community, despite race, gender, all the division that has happened in our world. There's only one being, and that's human, right? Now, we do understand the realness of color. We do understand the realness of gender. We do understand the realness of sexual preference. But at the end of the day, we're all human beings and we're all our people. And we have gotten away from that. You know, here in America, the people with the knowledge and the money control the system, right? If the people with the knowledge and the money control the system, don't you think we need to apply our knowledge, get the resources together so we can control our own system? Just a little food for thought. I'm kind of one of those people that are truly believing in bringing back a Black Wall Street. And it has less to do with race and more to do with building equity, right? So apply that knowledge that you have because that success will come to you. And last, of course, I had to put my guy in there, Muhammad Ali, the GOAT, greatest of all time. You know, he was the epitome of having great skill, right? He talks about champions aren't born in gyms. They have to have the skill, and the will must be stronger than the skill, right? Muhammad Ali grew up, I don't know, maybe about 2 miles from my childhood home. And his grandmother stayed from my teenage home. She stayed in the same area I did, maybe about 4 or 5 miles down the block. So I got an opportunity to see, him often when he would come to visit. And it was incredible, even with all the things that he dealt with, going to prison because he didn't want to go fight in the war of people that's not calling him out of his name, that he didn't want to participate in the war for America when America was opposing him, right? That takes a lot of will and a lot of skill. You got to be truly confident in what you do to be able to make that kind of stand against the US, give up your championship, in order to stand your ground for your people, right? You got to be skillful. And see, his skill came in the fact that he was such a boisterous figure that he was so enormous, not only just being the boxing champion, but in his personality, in his delivery, and how he talked, that his skill in the ring paled in comparison to the skill that he possessed outside of the ring, because he wasn't considered to be the greatest of all time because of his boxing skill. It was because of what he did off the ring, when he stepped out of the ring. And everybody has their hangups and have their backstories and different things, for them that some people may or may not like. But that man right there was able to vocalize during a time where Black people were still being oppressed. And he was unafraid to stand on what he believed in. He took his skill, the ability to do something well, expertise, applied will. See, each of you that are on the Zoom now are skillful in your area. I looked you guys up on LinkedIn, invited you out to a free masterclass. Here you are because you want to take your skill to the next level. You want to be more into your community or more in your business, or you want to make more money. So you want to achieve more than where you currently are, right? And so what we want to do, and what I want to do with this, is be able to give you some very basic things that you can apply simply right now. Discipline, consistency, knowledge, and skill. You know, you take what you already have, you add it in, and you build it to another level. It takes a lot of things. I know one thing that's big with skill with me is personal development. I read at least a book a month at a minimum. Sometimes I'm on 3 books at one time, but I always read a book a month minimum. I'm constantly listening to different podcasts. I'm constantly listening to different YouTube messages. One of my favorite one is by Earl Nightingale, when he talks about his definition of success. It's about 30 minutes long. I encourage you to go click on it and listen to it. It's from the 1930s, and I say it is incredibly revealing of why people aren't successful in what it is that they're due. And some of that is lack of skill, right? Because they don't apply what they've learned. They don't apply the knowledge that they have, you know, and it's incredible and important to know that in doing that, you're training your mind to be stronger. They say we only use 10% of it. I don't believe that. I think we only use 10% when we don't apply more and put more pressure onto ourselves, when we don't get more schooling, when we don't get more education, when we don't get more experience out in the field, being able to actually talk with people and apply our craft. It's critically important that you're always growing, because what I've learned from the great men that have taught me over the years and my mentor is that if you're not learning, you're dying, right? Because growth is all about learning and adaptation. And if you're not learning to be able to apply that skill, man, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're not giving your 120% that you need for the success you desire. And success isn't always measured by money. It could be success in, I know like friends of mine that were in high school that wanted to be housewives, right? They wanted a husband to, do the old school thing, provide for them, and they'd be able to stay home and, homeschool their kids and be able to learn and grow and everything from that, right? And I've had a few of them that achieved that and they're happy. That's success for them. I used to think it wasn't success because, they weren't bringing in the capital that they wanted to bring in, right? They weren't making the money they wanted to bring in. But then I realized success for them was being able to stay home to take care of their kids, to homeschool their kids, to be parent to their child, maintain their home, and been doing it 20, 30 years. And, now that the kid is out of the house, they're pursuing their own dreams and goals and aspirations because they didn't have to do a 2 income household, right? It takes a lot of skill to be a stay-at-home parent. It's it's I applaud all stay-at-home parents. I know there's some stay-at-home fathers out there as well. I know there's some stay-at-home mothers. I know there's some single parents out there that are with their kids. And during this pandemic, you probably learned a lot about your children. Um, it's important that you define what success is for you, right? You should write that down. What does success mean to me? And then once you figure out what that is, then you're going to peel back the onion, because there's always layers to success. You're going to peel back the onion and go a little deeper. Well, what drive me to want this success? Is it more money? Is it success in my marriage? Is it success in my relationship? Is it capital? Is it building my nonprofit? Is it losing 30 pounds in 30 days? Whatever it is for you, and peel back the onion and then like, what is the motivator behind it? Then peel back another layer of the onion and say, what is the why behind it, right? And it's incredibly simple to do, but you can imagine how many people don't do it. So today, we're actually at the end. Let's see, what time is it? Do I have time for some question and answers? Oh, definitely. We even got done a little early. So to share something real quick with you guys, in closing, if you want to schedule a 30-minute one-on-one, because you showed up today, absolutely free. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it down here in the chat. Hold on one second. Dun, 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 dun. There it is. I'm gonna put it down here in the chat for you guys. So if you want to schedule your free one-on-one, you definitely get one of those if we want to take a deeper dive. And so we can look at one of the other chef's recipes that I had in here. This one right here, where we talk about motivation, passion, vision, confidence, and decision making. These are the ingredients or an additional recipe to the discipline, consistency, knowledge, and skill that you need. So if you want to dive a little deeper, dig a little deeper, want to know a little bit more about yourself, and then learn what your superpower is. Because everybody has a superpower, and it's very critical that you know what yours is so you can cultivate it, build it, and explode it for the people that's out there. So, information I shared with you today, of course, people have paid thousands for it. You got it today for free. And if you want to dive deeper, make sure you click on that link and schedule a 30-minute free one-on-one with me. I would be excited to have you. I'm so glad that you guys have showed up today, just to learn a little bit more about what it is that I do, in business, what it is that I do, and I offer as, a coach in this business. So, by show of hands, did you find what I've shared today valuable? You can put a comment in the chat here. You can raise your hand, either one. I know we got a few people that are still left in here. Thank you guys for sticking it out. Outstanding. And if you would like for me to share more with you on how to implement these principles in your life and take your career to the next level, book that one-on-one. Book that one-on-one for 30 minutes. Again, it's free, because through my one-on-one coaching program, I help my clients tap into their full potential, whether you want to move up the corporate ladder, become a person of influence, or simply want to take your leadership and personal growth to the next level. So if you want to go deeper and learn more and understand better, and if this is for you, book that call. 30 minutes. The meeting link is in the chat. It's only going to be available. I'll leave it up here for about 5 minutes after we're done, with this meeting, in case, you need to write it down and you can't copy and paste it because you're on your phone and you're driving. I know the multiple things that happen. So, but before we end, I do want to give you an opportunity to have any questions that you may want answered, because like I said, we got a little bit more time. And I just want to thank each and every one of you for joining today. I'm excited to have you. You guys got to get some great nuggets from some accumulation of things that I've learned from my different mentors and great people. So if you have any questions, go ahead and drop it in the chat, or you can come off mute and ask, and I can answer them right now. Or if you're shy, you don't want your questions answered on the screen, shoot me an email. You guys have it from when you got reminded about the event today. And I'll leave you with this. This is one of my favorite phrases ever. Perfection is the goal, but progress is the expectation. You're always striving for perfection, although you know you're never going to get it, because no one is perfect. But what the great creator is looking for is the progress. He's expecting you to progress to the best form of you. So I'm going to open it up for any questions. If there's not any questions, then we will end this mastermind class with a wonderful thank you. And I appreciate your time today. You guys be blessed, you be strong, and continue to be leaders in your industry. I thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful day.